I'm Wes Allen with DM Tales, and I said that my next video was going to be a review of Dark Places and Demigorgons. I'm hoping to record that sometime tomorrow, but something's come up in the meantime. See, I pastor a small church, which might come as a shock to some of you, and I'm actually recording in my office right now, and we need a new roof, so we're doing a lot of fundraising. And I thought one of the cool things I could do as a fundraiser was to host a day of one-shots. But this has brought up some questions. Let's roll it. Now, when I brought up the idea of playing role-playing games as a fundraiser with folks, people thought that was a pretty cool idea. When I began inviting people to play at the one-shot fundraiser, people had a lot of questions. Well, how do you play? What are the rules? Will I make people angry if I don't know everything already when I sit down at the table? Is this a little bit weird? Well, let me answer some of these questions. First off, how you play is how you pretty much play any game. If you've played Risk or Monopoly or Clue, any game like that, you know how a game works. You sit at a table and there are rules which guide your interactions as you proceed to the end of a game. A role-playing game works pretty much the same way, although a lot more of it happens in your imagination. As for knowing the rules, most people don't know all the rules. The person running the game has to be the most familiar with them as anyone, but really, you just need to sit down and roll a dice, and someone says, okay, we'll add this number to it. You get the total. So it's basic math. If you know how to do basic math, you know how to play a role-playing game. And as for it being weird, well, we live in a culture where if we think that we sit in the wrong seat for a football game, the team is going to lose. Is that weird? Yeah. Not that I know anybody like that at all. And, role-playing games are weird that way. Because unlike Clue or unlike Risk, you are not simply moving a token around a board. You are literally playing a role. You are, once you sit around the table for the role-playing game, Aerith Winterwind, a wizard who has mysterious background issues that she's trying to deal with, or your Gamble Copperheart, who is a paladin of a disgraced god, or maybe your Gibeon Starfall, who has discovered a new god and is the first worshiper of this god for the first time in several hundred centuries. This is the type of thing that goes on around a role-playing game. You pick up what that character's motivations are, and what that character's desires are, and what their background is, and you mesh that into a personality that you create. You play the role. And sometimes you're going to act this out, although if you're not comfortable doing something like that, you can say, well, this person does this now, and that works just as well. But the point is, you're directing a character in a game and helping them discover what this story is all about. I find that pretty cool. And really, at the heart of a role-playing game is this idea of story. It is a narrative that everyone around the table creates together. As players decide they're going to do something in the world, and the person running the game, or the game master, or the dungeon master, will describe how the world reacts to what they do. And that's really the heart of it. All the casting of spells or turning undead or poking swords at goblins, that's all just part of the fun. At the core of it, it's telling a story. If you at any point of your life picked up a wiffle ball bat or a toy lightsaber or a plastic sword and said, I am Luke Skywalker, or I am Aragorn, or you picked up a bow and said, I'm Legolas, or you picked up a shield and said, I'm now Captain America. Even if you didn't do it audibly, but you did it in the back of your head, you know what a role-playing game is like and its appeal. And so this is what we're going to do. On November 19th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., 4 hours, we're going to play one-shots, which are a little bit different than a typical campaign. You see, role-playing games don't have a defined ending. You don't get to a certain point and say, well, I've won or I've lost. That's the way a board game works. A role-playing game can be open-ended, and there are campaigns that go on for years. A one-shot, however, means that you're going to play one adventure from the beginning to the end. And that's it. There's no expectation to come back next week, next month, or next year. You're just done, and you've told the story. If you've ever told a story, if you've ever imagined a story, if you've ever wondered what it was like to cast a spell or face a dragon or run away from goblins, this is something that might appeal to you. So if you're in the South Jersey area, you want to come to the fundraiser, I'll put a link to that below in the description. But if you are anywhere watching this video and you've wondered what all this role-playing game thing is about, I hope that listening to this video and realizing that it's basic math and some storytelling will encourage you to try it out, because it's a lot of fun. I am going to get to my review of Dark Places and Demigorgons. I'm going to try to video that tomorrow. But until then, folks, happy playing, everyone.